Welcome on board Devang Mehta as well and chat about what he's making of the market right now. Devang, hi, afternoon. Apologies to keep you waiting. Just got a lot of earnings coming in back to back. But I don't know if you've taken a look at Zomato numbers because, the commentary from the management is pretty strong, both on the turnaround for Blinkit as well as Hyperpure and the kind of, addition they see to their business or for that matter, the debt reduction as well. But yes, the margins have fallen short of expectation. Big recovery again in the stock price. It's almost undone most of its losses. But at 200 thereabouts, what's the call on the stock, right now?
Thanks for having me on the show, Aisha. Yes, I think I don't track Zomato so closely in terms of numbers, but yes, the recovery has been dramatic over the last 3, 4 quarters. What we have seen is the body language and the commentary of the management has also drastically changed. And in fact, numbers also, revenue has been rising. We have seen discretionary consumption doing extremely well across sectors, across people who are traveling, across people who are sort of eating out and also ordering food. So I think this phenomenon is probably now getting into more a structural demand than and then sort of a pent-up demand, which people used to talk earlier 2 years back, post the completion of COVID. But yes, I think there are only a couple of players which are available over here, one Zomato and Swiggy. So probably yes, Zomato tends to benefit as the first listed player over here, and the numbers have been showing good traction. So as I said, don't I'm not get caught into the detail of the numbers, but on the face of it, yes, looks a confident management and decent numbers.
Point taken, confident management. I'm not sure if we do have Vinny with us to talk to us a bit more about details of the numbers. Vinny, take it away. What are the highlights that you have spotted?
So yes, firstly, let's just talk about the Blinkit EBIT. That's turned positive. Blinkit has now become adjusted EBITDA positive as well. And I'm just reading the shareholders letter right now, and they start also with talking about the quick commerce segment. So clearly, the quick commerce, which has started seeing a good growth, that seems like it's continued. And they've given a guidance of Q1 FY25 first for turning EBIT positive here. Now they've turned EBIT positive. The EBIT for quick commerce is currently at around 2 crores versus the loss of 56 crores. Other than that, revenues are in line. Food delivery, I think that's a bit of a subduedness as we're seeing in terms of the growth on a quarter-on-quarter basis. 2% growth. And our expectation was much higher than that. Somewhere in the high single digit is what our expectation was. So yes, a slight bit of a miss, that one would say, at least on the food delivery growth front. Other than that, Blinkit has managed to continue to see a strong growth. 19% growth versus our expectation of 18%. So in line with what we were expecting. Hyperpure business also, we were expecting around a 10% growth. That's what it's coming at. So yes, that's what it's looking like. Other than that, overall EBITDA also, the company is saying that they plan to maintain these levels in terms of the positivity on the EBITDA front. They're saying that they're planning to open around 1,000 stores in Blinkit by FY25. So that is interesting, that we are keeping an eye out on. But clearly the stock has recovered from the low point. It was down almost 5-6% at one point of time once the results came in. But do not forget, quick commerce turning EBIT positive. They're focusing a lot more in terms of expansion there. 1,000 stores in FY25 itself is something that is interesting to watch out for. But so far, these are the details that have come in. We'll keep you updated with more of the details once I'm done reading with the shareholders letter.
Thanks so much for quickly getting us those details from the shareholders letter. The stock has pretty much recovered all the lost ground, down just about 1.25%. The fact that they're talking about the break-even of the Blinkit business in March itself, and in a steady state, they're expecting the margins to be 4 to 5%. The expansion plan is also quite rapid. They are expecting to add almost 1,000 stores in FY25, and the Hyperpure losses have also come down meaningfully, and all of this is auguring well for the stock price right now. But that was the entire thesis around Zomato. The stock has run up quite a bit. But the other pocket that we're watching out for, and we heard the management commentary from ABB as well. But actually, before that, Devang, what about UPL? That stock has run up over 20-25% in a matter of 3 days. And the earnings are more or less a beat versus expectation.
I think yes, what we have seen is also a lot of sectors which earlier were sort of laggards have also come back to the fore, and there's more of sector rotation. While the market consolidates or corrects a bit after this fast and furious rally, we have seen a lot of such sectors coming back and performing very well. This business had sort of suffered over the last couple of years, not delivering great numbers. But yes, this time also probably people are talking about normal monsoon and Enledo getting transferred to La Nina. So I think this types of noise probably is making the stocks also sort of do well. And some of these businesses, for example, PI Industries, UPL, all this had underperformed, and now they are again coming back and doing very well. So I don't read much into it, but yes, if the numbers are better for these companies who underperformed over the last couple of years, there will be upside to such companies. And then also contradictorily, a lot of companies who have sort of behaved ahead of estimates of numbers are also falling because they are not falling on the expectations which were sort of built into the business.
But that's not quite the case, Devang, with Tata Motors, especially for the elevated levels the stock was quoting it at. Definitely them, talking about a muted JLR guidance, that's really soured sentiment on the street. It's a deep 8.5% crack that you're seeing. What do you think is in store for the next few quarters for Tata Motors?
I think clearly what we feel is that the stock was sort of fully priced in. I think whatever the management comments I was reading about, there is nothing negative as such on the Tata Motors front, not even on the JLR front. Even the India business, the EV business is sort of doing well. But the negative sentiment is around there is a global slowdown in demand of cars, if that is going to hurt the case, which I was reading in the morning as well, in a sort of news articles as well, that there is a global slowdown which is awaiting this industry. There is also somewhere down the line, maybe the CV cycle in India over the next 6 months, 9 months can go into a bit of hibernation. So I think these are certain reasons wherein if you are fully priced in, if you've done extremely well over the last 3-4 years, there is probably a case where you correct a bit, and again it's not that you will sort of get into an eternal correction. It will you gain more strength, and from here on there will be new investors who will be wanting to enter. But yes, to be very fair, a lot of companies are now fully priced in, and there will be some correction if you disappoint a little bit, or if even the sector disappoints you by a bit.
Okay, point taken. So that's the view coming in on Tata Motors. In the meantime, Devang, we'll let you go. Thanks so much for making time and speaking with us for that quick chat about taking the BTST calls from our technical experts. Naresh, is it BTST, STBT? What are you doing on this bounce now?
So it's a BTST strong recovery. So first is the buy on Tata Steel, which has bounced back from an important area. Stop loss at 160, target price of 170. Second is a buy on L&T, given the correction, as well as the recovery in the rest of the capital good names. This could also make a bounce back. Stop loss at 32.80, target price of 33.60.
Okay, Kunal, what's on your list?
So 2 buy calls, and the first one is on AB Capital. The stock coming back into a breakout mode about 220 mark. So would suggest a target of 232. Stop loss could be now trailed to 214 approximately. And BHEL is the other stock, is forming a bullish hammer pattern on the daily charts after a 10% correction in the last 1 week from 300 odd to 270 approximately. The stock is looking attractive. So BHEL is the other stock, 300 as a target, stop us at 270.
By the way, the index has come off from where we were earlier at. So we're closing in just mildly positive. But yes, from the session lows, it's quite a meaningful recovery that we've seen. 74 points up in the green is how we're shutting shop for the day as we speak right now. The pressure points, of course, Bharti ahead of its numbers tomorrow. This Tata Motors, which has really been hammered today. IndusInd Bank is closing in flat. ITC has had no participation. M&M, even though it's recovered a little bit, but that's kind of still, closing in flat for the day. And so is the case with Maruti as well.
But yeah, there is a lot of commentary coming in from the political arena on the markets and the volatility that we have seen. Quickly, let's listen to a bite coming in from the Minister of External Affairs.
I can only tell you this, that, usually, a lot of us in the government, we have hesitation of getting into the markets. But other members of my family tell me that pretty much a lot of what my parents or my grandparents handed over to them have done very well in the last 10 years. So if they've done well in the last 10 years, imagine what awaits you in the 25.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.